right. Well, welcome. Whoop. We're letting people in on the Zoom call. Words, guys. Words. I said, okay. If you have never attended a What the Whoop session before, What the Whoop is actually where we go over some of the features of the Whoop fitness tracker. So if you've never heard of Whoop, it is a fitness tracker. It helps you track your strength, cardio, and muscular strain. It helps you track your recovery. It helps you set up goals for your stuff. So that's what we're doing is we're talking about Whoop. Whoop, there it is. Hello, hello. Hi guys. What's up? So we do these calls typically once a month. We go over different elements of it. If you haven't been able to catch a call before, they do go on the YouTube channel. It's Erin, or it's the SFitFam, ESFITFAM, SFitFam on YouTube. The previous episodes are on the SFitFam YouTube, so you can always catch them there. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah. So we do have other people that are going to join, but I want to be respectful of your time, so we're going to go ahead and get started right away. So again, the Whoop device, I have my hot pink one on right now. I love it. Is a fitness tracker. It helps you track your muscular and cardio strain. It also helps you track your recovery. I usually recommend it for people that are looking a device to help determine if they are overtraining or if they need to train more. It's really good for instructors or trainers. And then if you are wanting more than just rings to complete, because that is a very generic measurement, then this is a really good way to do it. It's very personalized. It does learn from you. So the information that you put into it and how your body biomechanics work. It's really great. So I highly recommend it. If you want a code to use it, just send me a message. I don't think that it's for everyone. So I will say that Whoop is not necessarily for everybody, but I do think that it is a great tool. Now, if you're on Instagram, we do have a call on Zoom, or you can go back again and go on SFitFam on YouTube and you can see the presentation there. It will be uploaded later, but then you get to see what the app looks like and all of the cool features of Whoop. So we're going to talk today about the planning or the coaching element of what Whoop offers on the app. We're going to actually start today talking about how the coaching tool used to work. It still does work that way. It's just there are newer tools to the coaching planning app, a portion of the app, and so we're going to get to those a little bit later. Again, this is not nearly as cool if you're watching on Instagram. You just have to stare at my face, but you can watch the YouTube channel once it's uploaded there. Okay. So from your home screen, if you're looking at the app, on the very bottom is a menu that gives you the home. It might say coaching or it might say plan. And then you have community, and then there's a general menu option there as well. It's just the 3 lines and it says menu. Okay. So we're looking at, you may have coaching or you may have plan. It's the second from the left. That's going to be your option that you're looking at. And again, we have additions that have changed the way the coaching planning works. So we're going to talk about the Whoop AI coach and coaching, and then we'll go into the planning element that has recently been added. It was added just in time for the new year for all the goal setting and forgetting. Okay, so the AI coach was added at the end of last year. It is an AI tool that helps you kind of gauge where you're at throughout the day. It's really cool because it will start and then add different feedback throughout the day. You can ask the AI coach questions as well about your recovery, about your strain, how to accumulate your strain, or how to really try to maximize your recovery, things like that. So yeah, AI coach provides you with feedback throughout the day. You can use Whoop coach to learn more about your strain and activities to help you reach your strain goals or to prioritize your recovery depending on what your goals are. Okay. That's a little bit there. Now, the Whoop AI coach does give you feedback throughout the day. I have a couple screenshots of some of the feedback that it has given me. Like when I woke up in the morning, it gives me the recommendations for the day. So today's recommendations: to stay on track with your weekly goals, which were goals that I set in the planning tool, you need to overreach and hit an 11.1 strain. However, when you're in the red, so this day my recovery was in the red, you may want to prioritize rest instead of strenuous activity. So that was the alert that I got at the beginning of the day. As we moved forward through the day and I accumulated some strain, it says, oh, I must have taken a nap this day. Yes. Sleep debt reduction. You reduced your sleep debt by 36 minutes. Nice work. Try to get to bed early tonight to keep it up and pay down the remaining 39 minutes. So I had a over hour sleep debt from the previous night that I needed to work off or needed to catch up on. And so I must have taken a nice little nap that day. Doesn't often happen, but today I prioritized rest just like it told me to. And I was able to almost cut it in half. So it's super cool. At the end of the day, it says recovery from strain. Your heart rate variability, HRV, is 26% lower than usual and you overreached yesterday. It's normal to have a low recovery after heavy exercise. Listen to your body to bounce back faster. So that was what was received later in the day. So it just depends on what's going on in your day, how frequently it gives you feedback, but that does update on the home screen in your Whoop app. So much fun. Okay, now, like I said, we're gonna go to the planning/coaching page. So when you click on the planning/coaching section, I don't know which one you have, you're gonna see it says my work, okay, or my week, sorry, it's gonna say my week. So if you haven't used that yet, or you don't have that option yet, just ignore it. Just ignore that. We're gonna go back and talk about that because that's the new part that's been added. That's not always there. Hello, okay. That's not always there. So that hasn't always been there. So we're gonna actually move over to the insight portion, which is super fun. So if you're not using your journal, I highly encourage you to use your journal because all of the insights, most of the insights pull from your journal entries. Now remember, this isn't like a Dear Diary type of journal. It is behavioral changes and behavioral patterns that you are tracking so that you can see what positively and negatively affects your recovery. So you can see at the very top, it does say recovery impact analysis. So every time you track a behavior or every time the Whoop catches a behavior, so if you're working out earlier in the day, Whoop will automatically track that for you, okay? Because you have an activity and it tracks the time, okay? So it'll track certain things like that, and it'll let you know if it positively, negatively, or it's neutrally impacting your recovery, and you can see those behavioral trends here. This is so helpful if you are constantly like not doing well with recoveries. Take a look at this and see what's negatively affecting your recovery and then try to make the appropriate changes. That can also help you when you look back at my week and you can set your goals in accordance with those negative behavior patterns or those positive behavior patterns to help you maximize your recovery, okay? So super cool. The kids are home today. So super cool because that's on the insights page, okay? Or the insights section. And this is at the very top menu. It says my week insights, and then it says overview. Now, the overview is the traditional coaching portion of the app that we've utilized before, okay? When you go to the overview portion of the app, if you are female, it will show you where you are at in your menstruation cycle if you're tracking it in your journal. Okay, if you're not tracking it or you haven't set it up to track your menstruation or you're in menopause, it's gonna do something different, right? Okay, but if you are still dealing with regular menstruation, it's gonna show you where you are in your menstruation. And this is super cool because it can help you kind of determine what's going on or like, oh my gosh, that's how this is affecting me, okay? If you, hey boys, yeah. I'm doing a call. Okay, so if you click on the menstruation cycle or whatever you have there, it will pull up a calendar for you. and you can see when your period was and how it affects your recovery, or how it affects your strain and how it affects your sleep efficiency. So it's going to show you all these different things. So I've got a whole screen full of this. Please take a look. Please take a look on YouTube. If you want, I can take a screenshot. If you guys think this is cool, I can take a screenshot of this and I can post it on my Insta story so you guys can just see what it's like. But it's a ton of information. Again, this is for anybody dealing with regular periods. Okay, if you're male or if you are in menopause, this isn't going to affect you so much. They do have tools to help you through menopause as well, so take a look at that. But it's super cool. So you can look at your effect on strain. So if you are in, like, during your period, you're going to have a higher tolerance to strain. During your early follicular phase, I can say it, you're going to have a higher tolerance to strain. As you move into the late follicular phase, I can talk, it's fine. And into your early luteal phase, your ability to adapt to strain is going to go down. Okay, so you're going to see that throughout as you click on the dates and you kind of see where you're going to be at during the time of month. Okay, it's so easy to talk when you're like, you guys, I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. Okay. Just have patience with me. Okay. When you look at, you can also look at you can look at how it'll affect your sleep as well, because where you are in your cycle will affect how efficient you are in your sleep. So how many times you're awake and stuff like that, how restless you are during your sleep. So that's going to change throughout your cycle as well. Okay. And there's feedback in there. There's little coaching tips and everything when you go into that menstruation cycle. It will tell you, so when you're on the coaching page, it will tell you if your strain tolerance is low and if your sleep efficiency is going to be low or high. Okay. It's going to give you that feedback right on the coaching page, and that's on the overview of the coaching. Okay. Again, that's females that are menstruating. Okay. So if you're like, I don't see that, maybe you didn't set it up and maybe you're male. Okay. So that's a little bit there. That I do find this kind of interesting, because if I'm like, why am I sleeping so badly? It kind of helps me. Oh, look at that. Okay. No wonder. Or if I like, okay, this killed me 2 weeks ago. Why suddenly is this same workout like super easy for me to do? Oh, okay. I'm in my early phase. So I'm going to be able to adapt much better to the strain. So very interesting information. Okay, the next part on that coaching overview is going to be, so you do have this access to the strength trainer. You can access that on the home screen as well. Click the button and go right into the strength trainer there. And it's just, if you scroll down a little bit on the home page, you'll see the strength trainer there as well. Underneath the strength trainer is your sleep coach. Okay, your sleep coach is going to help you prioritize sleep and give you feedback on your sleep. We have talked about the sleep element of Whoop, but if you want to use the sleep coach, I highly encourage it because it's great. I think we talked about it when we were talking about the sleep, that you can set an alarm. So your Whoop band will vibrate. So it's got haptics instead of an audio alarm. And now when an audio alarm goes off, it's very abrupt for me. It's a very harsh awakening when I have to actually hear an alarm go off. So I have mine set. You can set your goal. So how much sleep do you want to get? How effective do you want to be in your sleep? You can try to reach 100% of your sleep need. So which means that you would be at peak performance. You can set your goal for 80%, which would be performance, and then you can set it at 70%, which is getting by. Anything less than that, you're not going to be able to set it. Okay. You can set your own goal for sleep performance as well. But again, that's under my week, where we'll set up a plan and we'll set up goals. We'll get to that a little bit later. Okay. So you set your goal for your sleep. And then at the very bottom is you set your alarm. So you can set it to go off at a specific time. You can set it to go off when you meet a certain percentage of your sleep goal, or you can set it to go off when you actually recover and you're in like fully green recovery, which is really funny. Like, I think I would never wake up if if it was waiting for me to turn green. Okay. Now, one of the things that you do have to realize about this is that if you are like, well, I want to sleep in, and so I'm just going to set it for when I hit green. If you hit green at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's going to wake you up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So it's not like the best to just wait till you hit green. If you want to sleep, then just set it for a later alarm or turn the alarm off. That's also an option too. Okay. But yeah, I had somebody that was telling me they did that once. And it was like the one time I actually hit green early, and I did not get good sleep because they woke me up so early. So yeah, so that's your sleep coach. In the sleep coach option, you can set a weekly schedule. So you just go in and say what your schedule is. So I wake up Monday through Friday, I'm up at 6 a.m. Saturdays I'm up at 7, Sundays I'm up at 8. Okay. So like this is when I get up every week. It's always the same. So you don't have to constantly change your alarm if you don't want to. You can just put it in for the week or for the specific days, and it'll go towards that. If you need to change it, then you can go in and change it with the specific time, the exact time, and you're good to go. Okay. I like that because then I don't have to constantly be changing my alarm every day. It's nice. It's nice. And I like the haptic alarm. Having an auditory alarm now is just, like I said, it's just brutal. I will say with the alarm that most of the time it buzzes twice. All you have to do is hit it twice and it turns off most of the time. Okay. Not all the time. There are definitely times where my Whoop is like, yeah, I know you think you're awake, but you're not actually awake. And it will just keep going. And then I look like a seal slapping my wrist. It's fantastic. But it really is a great tool. So back to the overview page of the planning and coaching. If you scroll down beneath the sleep planner, you're going to see a readout of your basic health monitor metrics. So your respiratory rate, your oxygen levels, your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, and your body temperature. You're not going to get the numbers for it. It's just going to give you a green or an orange check if it's within your normal range or if it's outside of your normal range. So it's just a quick glance at how your body is doing. Underneath that is going to be your monthly and weekly performance assessments. So these are really cool and kind of give you a really broad overview of how the month went or how the week went. So you get used to seeing the weekly information on the app or the daily information on the app. You can look at your overall week and then you can look at your overall month too. So very cool. I like the month app, and I know some of you guys for the first time had you got to see your annual assessment on the Whoop app, and it just kind of walked you through some stuff, which I hope you liked it. I think it's super cool to see that. Points out some of your highlights, some of the areas for improvement. It's really cool. But yeah, you can get your monthly and weekly information right there on the overview. Okay. Now this is the big change. I think it just started like the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. They let us get set up with this new option the end of 2023 so we could start 2024 well. What you can do is that main page. So when you go into My Plan or Coaching, if it says coaching, you probably don't have the option. But if you go into My Plan, you'll have the option to set up a weekly plan, and you can focus on certain things. Okay. You can focus on things that they suggest. They're doing a January jumpstart right now. Maybe don't start it now because it's over halfway through January, but you could always join that. My guess is that they will have monthly challenges that you can join if you want to. They've got a plan where you can stay in the green. You can try to stay in the green. You can focus on your sleeping. You can focus on your strain, or all sorts of different things. Okay. If you're not sure what you want to do, you can just maintain, you could just ignore this, or you can create your own plan. Okay. I have created my own plan. I think this is really fun because you get to set your own goals. So when you go in to set your sleep goal, it's a little bar and you can lift it and lower it and say, okay, I want to reach this percentage of my sleep goal. So I'm trying to hit 80%, which is a lot. For me, that's high. Okay. But I'm trying to reach 80%. So I get 80% of my sleep every night. It just doesn't happen every night. Okay. And then you can set your strain goal. Okay. So I want to hit a 10 every day. I want to hit a strain of 10 every day, or I want to hit a strain of 13 every day. Remember, your strain is going to be different from other people's because your body is different. So the way that your body processes strain, it's all going to be very different. Okay. So look at what you've done. And it does, what is really cool is that when you're looking at your sleep or you're looking at your strain, it's going to tell you that your average is X. So you can base your goal off of what your average is, and that information is right there for you. You don't have to go looking for it. It's all right there. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. I thought that was very smart of them. Okay. The next thing that you're going to set is you can set your activities that you want to do. You can set your behaviors that you want to do. So if you're trying to do dry January, you put alcohol there and you want to make sure that there's no days with alcohol, right? Or avoiding alcohol. If you're trying to go dairy free or gluten free, you can put that behavior there and track the days that you're able to go gluten free or dairy free. All those things. And then it will, because you're using your journal, it will track those behavioral changes for you. Okay. So if there is something that you're like, oh, this is a habit of mine that I'd really like to break, it can help you track your habit. Okay. If you're wanting to lift 3 days a week, you can set that. If you're wanting to do yoga 5 days a week because you want to do it right before you go to bed, then you can set that in there. It's so great. And one of the things that I love about this, you guys, I didn't realize this. I can show you that. I'll show you that. Okay, Stacey. So one of the things that I did not realize was I've been getting the like, hey, you're doing great this week. Okay. So the other day I was red. It's been a rough week. Okay. The other day I was red, and my AI coach, my Whoop AI coach, said, you've already built enough strain this week to achieve your weekly goal. Nice work. Stay within your optimal range of 4.8 to 8.8 to keep yourself balanced. So it looked at my goal for strain was 13 every day. But because I had days where I overperformed and some days where I underperformed, it looked at my overall average. So even if I didn't, maybe Sunday I didn't hit 13, but I was so red that Whoop was like, listen, you did good this week. You can just chill. Okay. It's like, you did actually meet your goal on average, so you're okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. Thank you so much for looking at the overall average instead of just bum, 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 bum. Because if I hit 13 one day and then I hit 17 one day and then I hit 6 one day, like, can't you just average that out, please? So they do. So that's great. So even though I may not have hit 80% of my sleep performance every night, on average throughout the week, I did hit 80%. So I was meeting my goal, just not consistently. So it made me feel a little bit better. Instead of like, oh my gosh, I'm failing, I'm not hitting it every day. It was like, yeah, but you overall did. So it made me feel like, okay, keep going. Whereas I think if I had just seen the check marks or not the check marks, I would have been like, well, I can't do it. So I might as well just, oh, here goes another week where I didn't hit 80% every day. I should just like give up, you know? So it was very encouraging for me to see that it was based on the average. So if that's not, I thought it was cool. Maybe you don't, but I definitely thought it was cool. So, yeah, so that's, yeah, for real, right? Every day is different. I always find it funny when, people talk about, well, you're just not dedicated enough. And I'm like, no, I have 4 kids and life is crazy. Like, even if I didn't have kids, things come up and unexpected things, and you just have to adapt to it. So it's not that I'm not dedicated. It's just that I have grace and compassion for myself and others, and I'm willing to roll with the punches. So, and that's more important to me than being a jerk and getting my check mark. So this slide does just show that it does look at your overall performance. I got a green check, even though I didn't hit it every day. I averaged it and it was okay. So I really did appreciate that. This one is a look, got my thumbs up on there. Okay. As always, if you have questions, there's the little information mark. You can click on it and get information specifically about whatever that is in regards to. And then this one went quick, you guys. I thought for sure, maybe you guys are going to have more questions, but I thought this was going to be a long one. The next What the Whoop is going to be February 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, we had to change the time, but 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be on the community element of the app. So it's going to go a little bit quicker because that one's not very confusing. So it'll be a little bit smaller. If you have questions or you're newer to Whoop and you want to come next time, bring your questions and we can spend more time going over those questions instead of just the community element. The community element is one of the things that I do like about Whoop. We have chats in there and you have different types of communities that you can connect with and kind of see. I'm in the 40s crowd now. How are women in their 40s responding to things like this, or, things like that? So if you're a dancer, if you're a CrossFitter, like they have different groups and you can kind of connect with those groups and it's really cool. So, Stacy, let's go back to how we set that timer. So if you uh, go into plan or coaching at the very bottom, and then you're going to see this home screen, and you're going to see the My Plan. You're going to click on overview, and then you should have your sleep planner down at the bottom. If you click on that, it'll bring you up to where you can schedule your alarm. At the very top is this little calendar with the moon. And if you click on that, it will bring you to schedule your weekly. Okay. See, click on the little moon and it'll set up your schedule for you. So you toggle it over and then you just add what your schedule is, what you want your schedule to be. So if you struggle with that, let me know and we can set up a call and I can help you out with that.
How do I add?
So the little green, there should be, so did you turn the toggle on first?
Yes,
Okay. And then there's nothing there?
I have two calendars that came up.
Okay.
So like I have two sets of um alarms.
Okay.
So if I wanted to add another one, I don't see an option to add.
Hmm. If you click the drop down, because I'm on Instagram on my phone, I can't pull it up. But if you click
Okay.
the drop down, try clicking on the drop down. We're just going to work through.
Yeah, it gives me two options, edit or delete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Okay. Instagram, you've been great. I need to use my phone now. So if you want to join us, message me. I'll send you the Zoom because we're going to continue on the Zoom, or finish watching it when I upload it onto YouTube. Again, the next one is going to be February 19th, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and of course, it's so great. I know, right? Oh, you use the Aura Ring as well. Okay. There's so much in the Whoop. That's why I started doing these, is because it can be so overwhelming that I was like, it's such a great tool, but there's so much you kind of have to learn how to read and digest it. Yeah. So if you have questions, reach out to me. The next one's February 19th, and we're gonna be talking about the community. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You guys, thanks. Bye. All right. Let's look at this here. Okay. Plan. Cool. Plan. Overview. Sleep planner. Hmm. What are the dates? Like the two that you have there, what all days do you have it covering?
So I have one that covers Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay.
That's when I go into the office.
Yep.
I want to wake up a little earlier, and then when I work from home, I Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's why. All your days are already covered.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah. So if you wanted to change a day, you would have to edit one of those.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah. I'm like, that's so weird. Why won't it let you? Okay, got it. Okay,
Cool.
there we go. Oh, I feel so much better about that now. Okay. um, okay, so you need to be premium to have access to the coaching. You shouldn't. Let me see here. Like I have mine set, so but I do have pro. So but I don't think you have to have pro in order to get the coaching option. I don't think that is because if it's there, it should be allowed. Nahida, can you send me a screenshot? And I'll take a look at it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. This was a quick one. Anything else? Any other questions, you guys? I remembered to record today.
You were saying that we could, for the, under the My Week,
Yep.
can actually create your own plan in
Yes.
terms of goal.
Yeah. So,
Can you remind me how you go back to that? Because right now I'm doing the sleep jumpstart
okay.
because you know that's my weakness.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
what if
I
you,
hit 100% over the last 3 weeks. So that's an improvement.
yeah, that is an improvement. That's fantastic. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you at the very top, it should say what plan you're currently working on. So it would say Jumpstart
Mhm.
January, Jumpstart Sleep at the very top.
Yeah.
Okay. If you click on that, you should be able to edit what plan you're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then at the bottom it says create a custom plan. Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah.
Can you do more than one plan at the same time? Or
Uh,
you have to make it
no,
custom?
I think you have to do one plan at a time. But what you could do is look at the plans that they offer and see what you like about the plans that they're offering, and then try to create your own that is customed to you with the different things that they're focusing on.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Those are my questions for today.
Great questions, Stacy. Thank you. Love it. Any other questions? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. So I didn't share the screenshot of the monthly performance assessment where it shows you like your colors for your recovery and your strain and your sleep. Um, Awesome. Thank you, Nahida. And that's one of my favorite things because you kind of get a feel for how much you have of all of the different colors. Because sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, all I ever get is red recoveries. And then when you look at the month, you're like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Or maybe it is as bad as you think. I don't know. But when you get to see just the little squares of each of the recovery or strains or whatever, you can get it just gives you a really good picture of kind of where you're at. And then it does again like tell you if you are overtraining or if you're trending to be overtraining. Yeah, it's really cool. The monthly assessment,
Yes,
the weekly.
passive aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Super fun. So
Like, take it easy. All right.
yeah. All right. All right. Any other questions? See, and now I have 4 Whoop AI messages. And it says there's a little check mark and it says 4. So I know that there's 4 of them. So this is the most recent one. It says the start of a new week. You had a pretty good week and hit some of your goals. Nicely done. Plan the week ahead. So I
I
can
have
go.
that one too.
Did you too? Oh, good job. High five. Okay, so if I click on the check mark, it's going to go back to the third one then. So I can see what the previous feedback was. It said, okay, recovery from strain. Your HRV is 23% lower than usual and you overreached yesterday. It's normal to have a low recovery after a heavy exercise. Listen to your body, bounce back faster. Cool. The second one, I don't want to read this out loud.
I was thinking
That
the same thing
building.
looking at mine.
Yeah. Okay, so your sleep debt rose to 2 hours and 7 minutes, which can affect your
Wow.
long-term performance. If you can, try to prioritize sleep tonight. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bed at like
That's the one I didn't want to read either. But
yeah,
mine is only 50 minutes. Yours is 2 hours.
I was up late, okay? And then the first one was today's recommendation to stay on track with your weekly goals. You need to overreach and hit a 13 strain. However, when you're in the red, you may want to prioritize rest instead of strenuous activity. So I do appreciate those type of statements where it's like, this is your goal, but you're not really in a position that maybe that's, like if you continue to trend that way, it's going to have an effect. right? And it's not going to be a positive one. So I do like that there is kind of balance with the feedback that they give. Once you go through all of those Whoop AI coach little statements, it will just bring you to like, hey, if you want to chat with your coach, then you can do that, or you can restart the notices again. I know that if you like close the app or you go to a different app and you come back into it, a lot of times it'll reset those notices too. So it's not like they're gone for the day. You can always get them back. But I feel like they're less passive aggressive now. They're more like, hey. But yeah, it's pretty good. So, all right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Cool. It was an easy peasy one. I was really like, I was like, I'm nervous about this one because this could go so far. Like it could get really sidetracked. But
I
yeah.
like this one. This one says, today's recommendation, your optimal strain range is 6.5 to 10.5 with a target of 8.5. You
Oh,
had a restorative day yesterday. And then it says, is today a rest day or a workout day?
ooh, I like that. Yeah, see what I mean? It's a lot more like which way, it gives you the information and it's like you can do this or you can do this. Like just so you know, here's the benefits and here's the risks or the drawbacks. So I feel like it's less passive aggressive and more like
Yeah.
informational. So but that's just my opinion. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's that. Again, you can join us on February 19th. It is a Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be talking about the Whoop community that you can access in your app. Not just how cool the Whoop community is, but you can access specifically the Whoop community in your app. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.